Hey, this is Krisha here, and I'm recording this video in response to um, something that one of the of my community members and clients mentioned about how she's feeling right now. So I put up a post in my group and just asking, like where are you at right now? Like in terms, especially like the social distancing that we're having right now. It was a mental health check-in, and her response was, I'm really struggling, and I know a lot of people are, and that's why I decided to do a video on it because uh, she's not the only one, and I think a lot of people could benefit from this. So she said, I'm really struggling. Work is emotionally draining. She has mega mom guilt over her little one being lonely. And there's this struggle that's happening of juggling work, the financial strain, the balance, all of that kind of stuff. And you know, I know this woman, and she's a very strong, powerful woman. So to admit this and to say this is beautiful, first of all. I think more women need to, I just want to address this, for a second here. I think more women, strong, powerful women, need to admit when there's a feeling of struggle, because really honestly, to not do that, it leads into some pretty dark places, right? Like it can lead into depression and anxiety and bad habits like drinking too much or whatever, right? Like it can really, really lead into places, some dark places. And especially right now when we don't really have an end in sight, like this isn't something personal going on in our own lives that we're just like, wow, like, and then we can sort of like, oh, but the world is still okay. We're in a really fascinating time right now where we don't know what's around the corner. And a lot of what is the heaviness in that is the pressure that we put on ourselves as women to perform at a certain level. So she has a few things in here, right? Like she's got work expectations, family expectations, financial expectations, mom expectations. That's a lot of expectations. Where is she on the list? She wasn't even on that list. That was all everybody else, right? And that's a lot. That's a lot to bear. And what happens is we can become so we can create a feeling and a sense of not enoughness when we're looking at all these things that we feel like we have no control over. So a lot of what's coming up for her, and I know her, is a sense of needing control, a sense of things being in their place and being the way that they have been and being orderly and being in the way that we know. We all create a sense of order and a sense of control because to not be in that feels like this. So what we are going through right now is the unknown. And this is actually a really beautiful time. It doesn't feel like that. However, this is letting go of the guilt, letting go of the expectation to be perfect everywhere, letting go of the control, letting go of the need to make sure that every plate is up there spinning, or else if one plate crashes, they all crash and the whole thing comes falling down. And what does that mean about me? It means that I'm not a good mom. I'm not a good business owner. I'm not a good wife. I'm not a good, you know, contributor to society. It means something to us if we are not able to spin all of these plates and keep everything in control. And what's happening right now is the universe is saying, and the world and what everybody is experiencing right now is a complete, you're not in control anymore at all. We have no control right now. And it's a beautiful opportunity, especially for women, to look at this as a way to really step into your powerful feminine leadership. Because control comes from trying to work in the more masculine paradigm, the hustle, the making sure everything's perfect, maybe making sure everything is all in its right place. That's a very unhealthy environment that we have all been almost forced to be in. We've got to be perfect moms. We've got to be perfect wives. We have to have perfect bodies. We have to look a certain way or we won't have a partner. We have to talk a certain way. We have to show up a certain way or we won't be successful. We have to have this persona that we put out to the world or we will be rejected. There's been so many expectations put on us, especially as women, for men too. But let's just have this conversation woman to woman here. As women, we have been, so much has been given to us as an expectation on how we are meant to be. And also, it's been given to us from the masculine paradigm, which means that how men have handled things for years and years and years and years and years is how we've been expected to handle things. We don't work that way naturally. We don't. We have been conditioned to work in that way. What does that mean? It means that society as a whole has this idea that we need to look like we've got it all together. We need to look like we're, I can spin these plates. Look at me spinning that. That's me lifting my leg, spinning a plate. Look at me spinning all these plates. I'm such a badass. Look at me go. I got my kids. I got this over here. I got my business. I'm making money. I'm doing this. I'm spinning, spinning, spinning. Oh, and I'm also working on myself. And I'm being like so awesome. And I'm not making fun because I was here too. This is what we are conditioned to show up as, especially as powerful, powerful women, okay? Meanwhile, on the inside, we're like, this is so hard. This is too much. We get some sort of, we do, like, especially type A women, we get something out of this where it's like, yeah, I feel like I'm a badass, right? I feel like I'm a badass. Look at me doing all these things. Like, look at how accomplished I am. We get something out of it, but it's not a healthy something. And if we were to stop and slow down for a second, we would see we're not sleeping. We don't feel good. Our bodies are overweight or creaky and we're tired and we're exhausted and we're cranky and we're munchy and all we want to do is eat or drink or escape and like say F off to everything. Like, that is how we're actually feeling inside. But all of that is being muted because we don't have time to deal with that because we're so busy spinning our plates and like, look at how amazing we are, right? This is what we've been conditioned to be like. This is not making fun of anybody. This is not judging. This is not anything but highlighting a very probably uncomfortable truth about how we have been conditioned to work. And it is unhealthy. And so what is happening right now is like a good part of the population and everything that is being presented to us to look at is the need to slow down. Everything has been taken out of our control. There's some parts of the world that can't even go like outside. Like they need a thing, like a ticket or something to say that they're allowed to be outside. What? Like our basic freedoms are being like, ah, and there's so much of this that is just like so beyond our own level of understanding. And then it boils down to our own personal world. And now we have routine shifts. We're working from home when we weren't working from home. We now have kids who are at home, who were never at home before. They were at school. We had our routines. We had our silos. We were able to maintain this modicum of control, of plate spinning, and be able to ignore all the rest of it. And so now, with all of that being taken away, and now all of that is coming crashing down on so many women and so many men, we have to also let go of the expectation of perfection. We have to. We can no longer operate at that level. We now need to take a breath and let go of the guilt. The guilt is a very toxic emotion. I don't have my book. It's in my bedroom. On the consciousness scale, guilt is low. Guilt is, shame. It's low. It's a very low vibration that comes from external. Because if you didn't have society telling you that you were a bad mom, you would know no different. You'd know no different. You'd just be like, she's fine. She's doing her thing. She's happy. Right? My child is okay. Who says that our kids need 24/7 stimulation? Right? Because they're in school. So they're in this routine. So now when they're at home, we're like, oh my God, we're not stimulating them enough. How the hell are we supposed to do all of this? We can't. We cannot. We cannot be homeschooling, perfect mother, taking care of our children at the same time as perfect wife or partner or whatever it is, showing up in that way, at the same time as showing up as a team player and super badass like business owner or whatever it is, whatever your job is, right? Perfect and serving our clients and being really amazing. We can't be all of those things. That is why there are people who homeschool children. That is why there are people who do these different things. And now we are being expected to do all of these rules all on our own. Cool. And what's not cool is the conditioned expectations that you need to do it all perfectly. You do not. I bet you any money, even putting 10%, especially because I know you, 10% is good enough. So what is really going on here is a battle from within, a battle with society and conditioned and the status quo. And here is a beautiful opportunity for you and anybody watching who is feeling this freaking pressure to say, I'm doing my best. And this is really hard for type A people to do. Very, very, very hard because we want to be perfect at everything because that means something to us. And to let go of that, it's letting go of a piece of who we are, who we've identified with. But I'm telling you right now, that's ego. And I know that that's not an easy thing to hear, okay? And that doesn't mean that you're wrong for having that. It just it's a indication that that's not who you are at your core. It's ego. It is something that is outside of you. It is not your essence. So I invite you to really meditate on what I said here. Like what can you start to release and let go of? Okay, start with one thing, not the whole thing. This is what type A women do. They take on everything. And this is exactly what's happening. I got to be the perfect this and this, and I've got this pressure and I've got that pressure. And oh my God, I'm just like so overwhelmed and like everything is crashing down on me. Yeah, feels like that for sure, because that's exactly what just happened. The rug has been pulled and now you need to pivot. Everybody's talking about pivoting, but it's not just operating at that same 100% level in every area. No, you are going to have to now start to titrate down, 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 and be okay with the fact that you are maybe a crappy, like homeschooling mom, because I know I am. I'm awful at it. I'm so bad at homeschooling my kids. It's not something that I enjoy doing my best. Recognizing where's your zone of genius, where's your area that you know when you show up in that way, it's easy, you don't even have to think about it, you can give 100% and it doesn't take anything out of you. What are the things that you're trying so hard to keep spinning and to keep in control and to keep being so amazing at, because it's somebody else who's going to suffer, right? If you don't show up at that level, that person's going to suffer. But are they? They're not. My kids are not suffering right now. They're not. My children, actually, because they're not being regimented all day long, oh man, they are really coming into their own. I'm having some amazing conversations with my children right now. Amazing conversations. They're actually listening to mommy right now. Something they never did before, because they were getting all of this information stuffed on them all day long. They were overwhelmed. And now I can have a conversation with my son and say to him something that's really deep and really profound, and I think is going to land with him and make him a better adult as he grows. Make him much more stronger and independent as he enters his teen years and he's like subject to all of this, the peer pressure and all that, right? Like, this is the gift we can give our children when we can let go of the guilt and we can let go of needing to be perfect and let go of all of that and recognize that maybe the way we were working before wasn't working. And this is an opportunity for us to look and say, how do I want my day to look? What do I actually want to do? What on this list are the things that are really important versus what is coming from some sort of expectation that I've put on myself, that society has put on me, that I feel like I have to be taking care of all these things or else the whole freaking thing is going to fall apart. I promise you that won't happen. Some things will fall apart because they have to, because they're not working for you anymore. They have to. And again, that's an ego death. That's something that will be released, that feels painful when it's being released. But I promise you, on the other side of that is, oh, thank God I don't have to do that anymore. Thank God I don't have to have that obligation anymore. Thank God I don't have to have that pressure to be perfect in that area anymore. So my invitation to you is, look at these expectations that you have. Look at all these pressures, okay? Look at all of this and say to yourself, what in this is real? And what in this is a story from society, a story from my upbringing, a story that I've put on myself so that I feel worthy? And what are the things that I can start to titrate down? I can ease off on the pressure. I can ease off on the mom guilt. I can ease off on the guilt. Let go, let go, let go, let go. So that you're only really focusing on a couple of things that are really super important. A lot of people are going to give you tools and strategies on how to maximize your workday. And, like, here's effective, productive things that you can do with your children all day long so that you can be a perfect parent. Wait a minute. What about the people who are running their businesses? Like, it's not a one size fits all. And this is where all of that pressure comes in. So be cognizant of where that pressure is coming from. It's external and internal, but it's also external, right? Let it go. Take a breath, dance, get into your body, do some movement, and just be like, okay, what is important here? How much time do I actually have to spend with my child in order for her to feel taken care of in that way? Why don't you ask her? Ask your children, what do you need from me right now? How much time do you need that? Chances are they'll be like, no. I'm loving not being in school right now. I'm loving not having, I bet you, if you ask them, they're going to tell you what it is that they need, what they want. And they might be all over you. They might be crawling all over you because there is that energy of like, no, pushing, pulling, pushing, pulling. Find a more happier, centered balance that you choose. This is on you to choose and you to come to terms with on your own. That is the most powerful thing that you can do right now, is get into your own inner knowing of what it is that you want, not a dictate from anywhere else, not even me, and say, this is what's going to work for me going forward. And these are the things that I'm going to do, and everything else can go. I don't care. I'm not dealing with those things. And if things fall apart, things fall apart. Oh, well, this is exactly what we're learning right now. This is the art, this is the rise of the feminine, and this is the art of surrender. This is the art of the unknown. It is a scary place to be if you're not used to it. But it's also a very liberating place to be when you surrender into it and you say, okay, I don't know when this is going to end. I don't know when things are going to change. You have no control. Nobody right now has any control over that, right? The only thing that you control is your own thoughts, your mindset, and how you choose to show up every day. That is the only thing that you have in control right now. So take these things, which are very, very real for you. I'm not negating them. I'm not making fun. I'm not saying that this isn't real. This is all very, very real for a lot of people right now. And I know too. And look at each of them individually, because right now it's all the things. I started to say this before, and I might have gotten a little bit off track. Type A women have all or nothing mindsets. Okay. So right now it's all the things need to be spinning. And at the same token, when you're looking at this material, don't look at all of the things at once, because that's going to be doing the same pattern again, right? It's like, oh, now I have to look at how I'm mothering. Now I have to look at my finances. Now I have to let go, and I have to look at all of this all at once. No, pick one area. Mom guilt is a good one to start with, because it's an important one, right? It's our children. So look at the mom guilt. Ask your children, what do you need from me right now? Obviously, this is going to be different for different ages. Like, children under the age of 5 are going to have different demands than children over the age of 5. Like, this is all very nuanced. However, I'm going to remind you that you are a woman, and you have a very powerful, most likely untapped intuition where you're going to know what is best for your child. You are. So when you have that conversation with that child, or you go in and you say, how do I want to be as a mother right now? Not what everybody else thinks, not the homeschooling thing, not anything. How do I want to show up as a mother right now? No guilt, no, I should be mothering 24/7, unless you actually truly want to. Come to your own truth. And if you can get some sort of support, a babysitter, a nanny, something like that, obviously you're going to need to, like, do whatever it is that you need to do in order to make sure that it's COVID friendly. But you know, like, we can't do it all. We can have it all, but we can't do it all in this way. We're going to burn out fast. So take this. I know this is kind of long. I'm sorry about that. Take this information and embody it, right? Don't let this just be another thing that's adding to the stress of all the things that you need to do. Really take one area of your life and get into your intuition, get into your inner knowing, get into what is it that you want to do about this particular situation, and then do it. And then deal with the feelings and the tension that comes up around it, because it's probably going to be different than what you've been doing. And know that that's going to come up, and then breathe through it, like reach out and hold firm on your boundary around it, and watch as the pressure and the guilt and all of that just goes. And then you have harmony and inner peace, which is what we all want. But we can't get to it from a place of striving, spinning all the plates, working it only in our masculine. We need to make this transition over more into the feminine. We need to. And it is not an easy one. But when you do it, it's so worth it on the other side. So that is what I want to share with you. This might be totally different than what you'd be expecting from somebody else, but this is what I know for sure, because I've been through all of this and I've helped many people with this. I know this for sure. This is the path. And I invite you to consider this path, because the other way isn't working anymore. It's just not. We have a new opportunity now to create a new reality for ourselves where we are feeling stronger within, more balanced, more centered, more calm, nourished, right? And in harmony with ourselves, in harmony with our families, in harmony with money, in harmony with our business, in harmony with our people around us, in harmony with Earth. We have that opportunity right now. So I invite you to consider what I've said in this video and find your one thing, not 50, one thing that you're gonna take away and be like, okay, how can I shift this so that I'm no longer coming at it from a place of needing to control it, needing it to be perfect, needing it to be something that it just isn't. It can't be right now. It just can't be. Give yourself a break. Hardest thing for a type A perfectionist person to do. I know this. Give yourself a break. Because what will come out on the other side of that is juicy refinement, beautiful alignment, and a sense of this calm, badass, I've got this, that is very deep within and can't be shaken no matter what. Okay, that's what I want for you. So I would love to hear from you. If this was, if you need more information, if you've got some additional questions, please don't hesitate to ask. I'd be more than happy to support you through video or whatnot. If you want to have a call with me to go deeper into any of this and find out about how I can support you with this, then by all means, just please reach out. I'd be more than happy to help you, guide you on this particular journey at this time. So thank you so much, everybody, for watching this video. Sorry it's a little long. There's just so much in here that I think we need to really start paying attention to and start listening. And that's listening to in here us first and foremost, and really start to let go of all of these expectations. That's where this work is really going to begin. So thank you so much, and I will see you in the next video. And thank you so much, my love, for posting that question and being so vulnerable and sharing that, because I know a lot of women are struggling with that right now. So thank you. I honor that in you.